Alright, the project I'm working on today is I was clearing a brush pile with the Kubota and wasn't watching where I was going when I was pushing the brush up to get the fire going, and just happened to push a big log right through the front of it. Luckily I didn't get hurt, but hurt my feelings a little bit because that's about a $400 windshield. And so I decided here, after running it through weather and getting froze to death when that cab's got air conditioner and heat, so I finally just decided to break over and put the windshield back in it. So what I'm doing here is trying to scrape off all the old rubbers. There's not much glass left because it was all in the cab and on my legs and in my lap. So I got this putty knife, and you'll see me kind of go back and forth a little bit looking for some other utensils because I had to find the right thing to use. But I just scrape a little bit with the putty knife, and then I think I finally get a razor knife there. That helps a lot. And I'll let you guys watch a minute, and I'll chime back in on a couple of things I wanted to share some advice on. Learn from experience and my mistakes. Right here you can see I finally switched and got me a welding glove, and I'm trying to cut away from myself. I always try to cut away from yourself with the razor knife, because somehow you always end up cutting yourself, or I do. And I figured my knife would slip, and then my knuckles would scrape across what little bit of glass is left on that rubber. Um, so I'm using a carpet knife or a razor knife, whatever you want to call them. I'm using it, and after you cut like 2 or 3 cuts, it's like you don't feel like you're getting nowheres, but as you cut it, it starts coming loose, and then you can reach through there in just a second, hit a cut it every bit off, almost down to the metal where you need to be. So I switched to that finally after trying 2 or 3 different things. Something may work better for somebody else, or they may have a better tool. And my table also has wheels, which I wouldn't suggest because it wiggled all over the place the entire time I was doing it. But uh, the razor knife seemed to work the best, and seems like it might come in. It might be the best for people.
I'm just sitting here, I got time. It's clear to see from up here the world seems small. We can sit together, it's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever. outdoors, forever free.
I just took the vacuum cleaner, cleaned up a little glass, and there's a few little corners made in the frame, door frame. I just sucked the little glass shards because I think once I put the glass in there, that would be trapped in there and it would bug me to death. It would jiggle around every time you shut it and open it, and when you're driving with the door up or something, it may jiggle and sprinkle out over time. Just feel like it would get annoying. But what I'm going to do here in the next little bit, you'll see, I try to shave off with just a fine razor, just the last little skim, try to get close to the metal as I can without digging in the paint and stuff. Um, it says on that, guys may have some different advice. You can comment down below. It says you don't have to get all the rubber off. There can be a little bit left of the old seal, it says. So that's what it said. I tried to get it down as close as I could. A lot of it, I got it almost all off. So then I wipe it down with some acetone. If anybody knows anything any better, you're welcome to comment or give me any tips. This is probably the second time I've put something windshield in. I've done one at work before, but if you got any tips or comments, just comment down below. I did use a little trick that somebody showed me. I took a pair of vice grips and clamped a razor knife in it, but it seemed to work a little, then it wouldn't work. So I just tried lots of different things throughout this, and sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't, but I definitely did not like the roly table. So next time I'll be clearing off one of my big tables and cleaning up and doing something different. right here I'm wiping it down with acetone. I got this stuff at O'Reilly's, the acetone and the adhesive, window adhesive. Um, I wipe it down just to get, the grease and wax remover, whatever you want to call it. Anything you want to use, you just try to get all that impurities off of it where the glue will stick the best. And I've got the glass laid out. It was packed really well. Nothing was cracked. Uh, Usually you have to be careful when you get one; they'll be cracked. But I'll tell you one thing I would do if I went back and done this again. I would cut more of that tip off to allow a thicker bead to come out. And one of the mistakes I made in putting this window in is I put an adequate amount of sealer on it or window adhesive. Uh, but when you lay the windshield on the frame, you're supposed to let it kind of settle it on its own. Put a thick bead and kind of let it settle on its own. And I tried to get some close-ups where you can see I put a pretty good bead on it, but I was told later on by a friend that helps me a lot. He said that you're kind of supposed to lay the windshield on there kind of and let it seat itself. You're not supposed to walk around and squeeze it. And you'll see later on in the video here, I kind of go around and I'm like squeezing between my thumb and forefinger, kind of just squeezing it down, thinking I'm seating it and getting it all sealed in. And what happens is the window is supposed to have, say, half inch or something, I don't know, quarter inch of silicone or whatever in it, adhesive. So I was squeezing it, so now there's just a quarter instead of a half inch. And what that does is now when I shut my window and my door frame, it locks good, and then the rubber seal that it shuts against, I'm just lightly touching it instead of it actually, in some places it ain't even hardly touching it, instead of it actually touching the glass, it's actually back away from the seal a little bit. So if that would have been a thicker bead and I wouldn't have pushed it down, that would have put the glass out farther. So when I shut it, it would engage the seal. And it ain't bad enough that I won't take it off and redo it, but I will know for next time. I just, I think, as you see me squeezing that, you can tell, I think I know what I'm doing, but on hindsight, and after installing it, I had footage of installing it into the machine, but I lost it, and then my camera died once, and I thought I had batteries charged, but still learning the camera and the filming. So as I grow with this channel, I'll get better at it. And anybody got any comments? It's had that problem before installing the window. Maybe you don't let it seat. I don't know. That's just what it made sense, because when I squeezed it down, if I would have let it stay up a little, I think it would have shut better and sealed better. I did use the tape. I don't think that's what squeezed it down. You can see what squeezes it down here in a minute. I walked around and pushed on it, but the one spot that you see me stacking weight on, the frame got just a little bit bent at the bottom, and the camera's on it right now. I put a little thicker, like a heavy bead at the bottom, because that frame just slightly had a dip in it, and I didn't want the glass really to be a gap right there. So when I put that thick amount on it, I just laid like 10 pounds on it, and with a glove and stuff under it, a soft glove, welding glove, so it would kind of hold it to the frame. And you know, I don't think that bothered me too much, but when I walk around and do the squeeze with the thumb and stuff, that's what done it. So here I am. It lined up really well, and if you'll notice, my left hand gets in the glue, and then let me get the paper towel. Yeah, yep, can't get the paper towel. It's under the glass now. So I just left that in there because I think everybody's had a moment like that. Uh, I put big fingerprints right there, right where the towel was. So it happens. I just thought that was funny. I had sound with this video, but I'm gonna have to get a microphone because you couldn't didn't really understand what I was saying. You could barely hear me. And so I'll get a microphone so I can start talking and not just be doing voiceovers. I'll let this video end with just a little bit of music, and hope you guys have good luck with your window installs. And comment down below and hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and see you on the next video.